What's going on YouTube? It's your guy James here from Struggle Joe HNS, and I am here to bring you an updated deck profile or deck whatever. Excuse me. Has been some time since I uploaded a video. Uh, Primarily just because I got lazy. No other excuse. But, some new stuff been dropping, or a lot of new stuff is going to be dropping for a lot of decks I've put. So I figure I might as well get back to it, get off my ass and whatnot. But I'm here to do a review for Danger World deck. Updated, some new, Buddy Rave just came out. Got an Impact Monster in there, some reprints for some other stuff, and I figured now is a better time, or what is a better time to do a profile. So, yeah, the Buddy is Armonite Kyrie. It's a size 1, 2/2/2. It has the act ability, Ceremony of Destruction. When this card comes into play, I can take a card with Ace in its name and put it in the soul of my weapon. Very important to the deck Danger World for the most part. Regardless if it's Armonites or Dual Dragons, are very weapon-based deck. Your weapon does it all, and you want to make sure your weapon is constantly live and whatnot. So, first starting off, you play 4 copies of Armonite Little Drake. He's size 0. He's a 2/1/1. I think he's a 2/1/1. Or is he 2/1? Yep, 2/1/1. When he comes into play, just like Kyrie's effect, you can, it's like Kyrie's effect, but a little different. When he comes into play, you can discard a card from your hand. If you do, you can take a card from your discard pile, shove it into the soul of something on the field. So, Kyrie takes from hand, Little Drake takes from a drop zone, which is very handy. They both have a lot of importance in this. It's really good to constantly always be able to pick up a piece or something to give you an advantage. Up next, 4 copies of the Buddy, because, really good. Always want to use it. Always want to abuse its skill. Ceremony of Destruction is a named ability, but it isn't once per turn. So if you have 2 aces in your hand, you can call 2 Kyries to 2 open spots and shove 2 cards into the soul of your weapon. So really good, really good. Next, I play 1 copy of Eagle Ace and 1 copy of Ogre Ace. Both size 1s. Eagle Ace is a 3/2/2. All ace cards have an act ability, which is to jump into the soul of your weapon when you're at 5 or less life to do some things. Eagle here, when he's in the soul of your weapon can't be destroyed nor returned to the hand, which is really good. I've only played 1 copy because there's a lot of things now that, you can prevent your weapon from getting destroyed, but the reason why he's in here at 1 is because of the bouncing. The only thing I know from off the top of my head that bounces is Magic World, and, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So at least I have 1 copy in here, so I gotta be like, well, time to side out or whatever. And then another one is Ogre Ace. He's a 5/3/1. Pay 1 gaze to call him. When he's in a soul of your weapon, that weapon gets plus 5k attack. Really good. Helps your weapon. Mostly weapons are in between, I guess, 4 to 6, so it can swing in between 9 and 12, 9 and 11. So, yeah, very relevant. Helps you break walls. Next, 2 copies of Tiger Ace. Size 1, 3/2/2. When you act, you can knock him out the soul of your weapon, and for that turn your weapon gets double attack. 2 copies of him because having a very high critical weapon constantly swing down the center, forcing shields out your opponent's hand is very relevant. So 2 of these are nice. It's either I get it in my hand or I don't, or I can fetch it from the drop zone, which is enough. 3 copies of Gargoyle Ace is a 2-1-4. Counteract, dropping from a solar weapon, negating attack. Doesn't matter if your center is open or closed. I would be playing 2 of this. And swap it out for Shredding Battle Wall, because I only have one of that, and I just needed something to take up the space until I get another copy. So yeah, otherwise than that, it's a very solid card. Its 4,000 defense is very relevant. It can't get crossbowed, which is nice. So, you know, you activate, it's either they hit size or you just get a free negate. So it helps you not really worry about if you don't have a shield in hand, because this is relevant. More often than not, your opponent is going to try to force it out. So always having, you know, the option to block or not is very relevant. Next, size 2s. Play 3 copies of Giga, Armor Knight Cerberus Ace. Impact Monster, 7/3/5, 2 gauge, and put an Armor Knight from the drop. Very like common or call costs for like Armor Knights to like sacking off somebody just to come out. He has his first ability is at the end of his attack step. When he swings, you can make him going. You can put him in a soul of your weapon. If you do, take another card from your drop zone, put that in a soul of your weapon. And if you do that, stand your weapon, and your weapon can attack during the final phase, and it can't be destroyed. Really good card. Keeps the pressure up for the turn. So if you do have, like, you know, your Cradle or your Rikdu and whatever, and you got that on field, and you give it, you know, all the buffs that it needs to start doing some serious damage, and the fact that you can go in the final phase, you can hit for 3 crit, and 3 critical is not just like a wimpy number, it's an actual hefty number. And after it swings, put in the soul of your weapon, stand your weapon back up, put something in the soul, swing again. So, you know, it's very, very game ending, always keeps your tempo up. I played 3 because I had it at 4 and it was getting kind of cloggy, where, I mean, it's a nice effect, but you can't always go for it, so that's something to remember. Next, I played 3 copies of Armor Knight Ashura. Size 2, 5,000 power, 2 crit, 4,000 defense, 1 gauge to call him. He has an act ability where you can mill 2 cards off the top of your deck. If you do, you can destroy a monster with 5,000 or less defense on your opponent's side of the field, or you can give him double attack for the turn. He's in here at 3 for his shaving abilities, you know, just to mill off your deck, allow you to see more things, you know, get, you know, your monsters on a drop so you can little Drake it, or give, you know, some fuel for like Cradle and stuff like that, and even Giga Ace. So really, really nice. One copy of Demon Ace. I only played 1 copy, simply because I like his, it's primarily for his ability, not because of his monster part himself. He's a size 3. He's a 8/3/7. I believe he has like 1,000 point difference in his attack and defense from his original copy. Put a monster from the field to the drop, and 2 gauge. 2 gauge to call him, so, you know, the same thing as the original one. Um, he has double attack and the same thing for ace monsters, which is if you're a 5 of life, put him in a solely weapon. But his has counter on it, so if you call him as a monster, you can swing for potentially 6 damage if you land your attacks, and then you can jump him in a solely weapon. So it's really good. He himself is really good in evading like destruction because he can jump in the solely weapon, which is really nice. Also, if he's in a solely weapon, you can pay a gauge, restand it, so you can give it pseudo double attack or triple attack, and you're going to use it once per turn. So yeah, really nice. I barely ever call him. I only love shoving him in the soul for his secondary effect, but sometimes I call him because he still got decent stats. And last on the monsters, I play Armonite Black Drake Ace, size 3, 8,000 power, 2 crit, 5,000 defense, 1 gauge to call him. He's really cheap. This is an important card for his skill. Is his size gets reduced equal to the amount of cards and souls on your field. So if you have 1 soul in your weapon, 2 souls and a monster on the field, he comes out, he becomes a size 0, and when he's a size 0, he gets double attack, and he already has penetrate. So he's a very, very good card to keep in things where you keep constantly shoving soul into. Yeah, that's pretty much it. His penetrate is really, really nice compared to like other things. You can also pair up with the cradle and other weapons if you have penetrate, or monsters if you have penetrate. So most times when he comes out, he's more than likely a size 2, size 2 or 1. Getting him to 3 isn't hard, but you want to make sure you have your setup to do it, because his 4 crit, his 2 double attack can be annoying, and he's a size 0 with 8,000 power if you can make him that, which is really bananas. So on the weapons, I play 9 weapons. Left it at an odd number just because no particular reason. Just because I didn't want to like overload with weapons, but I kind of wanted to at the same time, because there have been numerous times of playing this deck where I just wouldn't see one at all, and it's just like, all right, well, so first off, we got 4 copies of Infinite Armament. It's the Infinite Armament Dangerous Cradle. Right. It's free to equip, 5,000 power, 1 crit. Has an act ability. You can pay 1 gauge. If you do, you can put a weapon from your hand or from your drop into the soul of this card. This card gets the mass critical of weapons in its soul, and if it has 3 or more, it gets penetrate. Pretty nice. So aside from like shoving cards in there with like Kyrie or Little Drake, the fact that this card can purposely make use of the other weapons in here, so they're not just dead or dull, and increases crit. Most times Cradle's probably sitting on, I don't know, maybe like 7 for crit in that time frame, and he just swings down center, and because 7 crit with penetrate, that's a little hefty for just be doing anything like that. Next weapon is 8th Omni Spear Storm Thrust. Pay gauge and the life to equip it. 6,000 power to crit. If this kills a monster, it gets double attack, which is nice. So essentially, if I have this equipped and my opponent like plugs something in the center with a 6k or less defense, I can just potentially like knock 2 if it has Soul Guard, knock 2 soul out of it, or kill it if it has 1. So, and the last weapon, 100 Demon Spear Aratagami. Gauge in life to equip it. 5,000 power, 3 crit. If I'm at 6 or more life, it gets -1 crit. So it goes. So it's at 2 while I'm above 6. The reason why I play these 2 specifically is for the gauge in the life, because of a life break. I really want to, as you can tell, want to be like around the 5 range, so I can do most of the gnarly things in my deck without any like repercussion or anything, and not care. Yeah, because they're fun. Yeah. So on to my spells. For Battle War Circle, generic shield. If your center is open and during the attack of your opponent's turn, nullify it. You know, pretty free, because why not? 3 Divine Crash. You can only cast it if you got a weapon equipped. Counter, pay a gauge of short size to less. Very, this card's important as well. Well, I believe it's important. For the simple fact that there are a lot of like size 2s that have some pretty gnarly effects. Or size 2s are getting more gnarly as the game progresses, and I need them to stop that. Well, just size 2 or less monsters in general, and you know, I need to stop that. So, since I'm playing open center as well, this kind of, and it kind of is for like defense purposes more than offense. So, 1 copy of Shredding Battle Wall. When I get my second copy, this is going to be at 2, and I'm going to take one of the Gargoyle Aces out. You can only cast if you got weapon equipped and you are being attacked. So if they're attacking you directly, nullify, gain a life. So pseudo Green Dragon Shield in a way, or Earth Barrier, I guess, or Earth Barrier came from that. 3 Super Strength Replenishment, pay a life, counter, gauge, 3 cards. It's a Clear Serenity for a life, very nice. That 1 gauge more than you get from Lord Aura Meditation is very important, and you just need it because your Impact Cerberus costs 2 gauge. A lot of your good monsters cost 1 to 2. Most of your weapons, well, practically all your weapons need a gauge because Cradle's act ability needs a gauge. So, very important. And it can also get you on your life break, because you know life breaking is important. 3 Burst Deity Calling Ritual. Pay a life and a gauge. Pay a gauge and a life. Draw a card. If you got a weapon equipped, draw another card. Since this doesn't have a life break, which means I don't have to be at 5 like survival chance. If I first turn, if I have a weapon and this, I can potentially just get through my deck faster, so I don't gotta minus anything besides just a life and a gauge, but whatever. That's why we play 3 Super Strength. 2 Amass Spinning Aura. This is a good card. I like this card in here. Put the top card of your gauge. Put the top card of your deck into the gauge. So you gauge 1, then if you're at 6 or less, you can draw a card, which is pretty nice. Because this essentially is just like the Dragon Emperor Legend. So always nice. And sometimes my hand just be really nice and I don't want to charge and draw, so this being a pseudo charge and draw is nice. Or an additional charge and draw is nice. And last, Demon Slave barrier. You can only cast it if one or more cards on the field would be destroyed. Counter, keep one of those on the field. So when people want to, get some of your, I guess, important monsters off the field, or your more annoying monsters off the field, or hit your weapon, you can just be, you could just be like, nah, I need these things, because, saving things is important. Yeah, so that's the profile, guys. I hope you enjoy seeing it. Hope you can learn from it, or you can figure out something that I haven't, and make a better build. Yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, do whatever. It's your body. It's a YouTube channel. I don't know. Just look at the video. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.